In a couple of weeks, Rhonda and I are flying down to Oklahoma City. Our oldest son, Jordan, who is a youth pastor down there, is receiving his ordination. And so that's what I want to talk about today is the importance of ordination. Now, I can only talk about the Church of God Reformation movement out of Anderson, Indiana. I can only talk about my experience with the ordination process. But I feel it's very important that if you're called into ministry, that if this is a long-term career for you, that you seek ordination. Yes, I am called by God. And yes, pastors are called by God. But the ordination process is where men recognize that call on your life. And then they support that and they give you that stamp of approval. And you go through the process and your governing body says, yeah, we have vetted this person. Yes, we've journeyed with this person. Yes, we recognize the call on this person's life and we want to support them. And the ordination process gives you some validity. You know, anybody can call themselves pastor and anybody can call themselves reverend, and you can go online and get a piece of paper that says you're ordained. But when you have a governing body such as the Church of God Reformation movement based out of Anderson, who has stepped me through the process and then has given me ordination and says, yes, this is one of ours. Yes, we support them. Yes, he's a valid pastor, and they recognize the call that God has put on my life. You know, that gives me that gives me some standing in the church. That gives me some standing in the community, and people recognize that, you know, I've got a call on my life, and that my governing body recognizes that call. Ordination opens up the doors for a couple of things. You know, there's some churches that want ordained ministers in their pulpits. They don't want to just hire Joe Blow off the street. So that will open some ministry opportunities for you. Ordination allows you to perform wedding ceremonies. And ordination also helps you with your housing and your tax breaks for your housing. And so I would just encourage you to seek out ordination. I got ordained in Ohio back in the mid to late 90s. And when I went to Ohio, in the Church of God, each state ordains our ministers. And so even though I am ordained with the Church of God, I was ordained through Ohio Ministries. And furthermore, the state of Ohio is broken into districts. And so I started with my district ordination committee. And, you know, I was born and raised Church of God. I got my degree from a Church of God college. And so they kind of fast tracked me because I had that background. And so the district stepped me through it. I didn't met all the requirements. I did my interviews, I wrote my papers, did everything they asked me to do, satisfied them. They then recommended me to the state. The state reviewed me. And at the following General Assembly that year, I received my ordination through the state offices there in Ohio. And so I, since 1999, am recognized as an ordained minister in good standing with the Church of God. When I moved to Kentucky, I just called the state office, and they just transferred my, you know, my paperwork and my files. So Kentucky recognizes me. Jordan's journey's been a little bit different. You know, over 20 years, things have changed. So he actually started his process in Ohio. He moved to Oklahoma. Oklahoma recognized the work he put forth in Ohio. And then they move forward to ordain him. However, they don't do the recognition at the General Assemblies. They allow that to happen in the home church. So the church that he's on staff has set aside a day where they will recognize him and present him with his paperwork, and then he'll be, you know, officially recognized ordained minister in the Church of God. So this short video actually leads to the next video I'm going to film, which is on marriage, which you have to be an ordained minister in order to perform marriages. When I left college, man, I had no clue about licensing and ordination. And I remember when I got to Ohio, I'd been there about a month. and I was at our local district camp meeting, and a guy walked up to me and he handed me a folded up piece of paper and he said, "Hey, welcome to the district, welcome to the state. Here's your license." And I was like, "Well, that was pretty easy." And he said, "Yeah, we'll get you started in the ordination process." And I had really good men and women who stepped me through that. But that was another thing that I came out of college just kind of clueless about. And so I want you to have eyes wide open that if you have a ministry call on your life, whatever denomination you're serving in, to start to ask questions and seek the process of ordination. Hey, have a great day, a great week. It is cold here in Kentucky, so stay warm wherever you are. Keep your eyes wide open for the next video, which is part B, from ordination to performing marriages. Love you guys. Bye-bye.